We're going to assume it's fixed now. So for those of you on YouTube, yes, you did just miss, like, I don't know. Looks like about 10-15 minutes of combat, but don't worry, you didn't miss much. I just showed off the Wall Masters and talked about the concept of heavies. Oh, and how I mentioned how Tubba Blubba has the unique eye style of the Dry series, aka the Undead of the Mario setting. That's it. You missed nothing. Much, much, much worse, Blade Joel. The game really is designed around the timed hits. Top to bottom. I mean, all of them have been. Every Mario RPG is like that. I think it's a problem. No. It's... To put it into simple terms, it's kind of like, is Kingdom Hearts a problem by virtue of being an ARPG? The answer I'm going to give to that is pretty concertedly going to be a no. Because it's an ARPG. The dominant point there is going to be interacting with the action part of the game. This. Same concept, right? Having said that, I can probably explain part of why that doesn't bother me. So, the reason why is because you will have a worse time if you don't hit the timed hits. You will have, honestly, a bit too easy of a time if you hit every timed hit, every block, and every damage. But that's actually my point, is in my mind, that's perfectly balanced. If you do everything perfectly, you are rewarded by having a much easier experience because you are doing the harder job, right? If you do terribly, you are penalized for having a much harder experience. But it's not impossible. And of course, what the game is actually balanced around is you doing well about half the time. And that's that all-important balance. That's what actually makes it work for me. I think we're going to switch back to Goombario, actually, for this. If this game was balanced around you being completely penalized if you don't hit every attack perfectly, Mario and Luigi, then yeah, that would be a problem. So, is this a top 5 N64 game for me? Yes, without hesitation. Is it a top 3 N64 game for me? Yes, without hesitation. Will it be a top 1? Now, we won't know. Not until we do the Star Fox block. But someday we're going to do the Star Fox block, and then we will have covered all 3 of the top N64 games for me. So the real question is, will this beat Ocarina? Because I think it has a very good chance of doing so. Although, admittedly, that's Ocarina 3D, but still. No, I want to go there first, don't I? Good morning, Braven. Will it be Castlevania? Nothing could be Castlevania 64. Nothing. But no, I'm being serious. Star Fox 64, Ocarina, and Paper Mario are the challengers for the top slot for the N64 for me. So, will it beat those? I don't know. God damn it, that threw me. Oh, that threw me so hard. Oh, well, at least we killed him this turn. Hi, Crazy Horse. Did I say hi to Braglin? Hi to Braglin. I should also mention that, as with FF5, there are some strategies that make this game substantially easier. I'll show off at least one of those later. Right now, these are actually a pretty good source of experience, and we're just a little bit behind the leveling curve. In fact, we are one level lower than we should be for this area. Again, you can always tell by how much experience they're giving you. If they're giving you 3 experience each, you're pretty much on the line, the yellow line. If they're giving you 2, you're a bit too high. If they're giving you 1, you're definitely too high. And if they're giving you none, then they're in the gray line. We'll go ahead and upgrade Bow, because we're going to be using her in the upcoming boss fights. It actually feels like a waste. Whatever. This place is just falling apart. This is the basement, isn't it? Yep, big one, too. This makes a great hiding place. I don't think Clubba's patrol down here, so it's probably safe to rest for a while. Oh, you're Mario. Nice place, huh? As a matter of fact, I came to the castle with my friends to try and find Tubba weak point. We managed to find out that there's something important in Tubba room on the highest floor. Once I got separated from my friends, I just had to hide. But you could go. First, you need to get to the uppermost floor, then keep going till you find his room. If you happen to run into Tubba, don't, I repeat, don't fight with him. He's invincible. Really. Until you find a secret weakness, you better just run away. Okay. Good to know. Actually, I got up early because, you know, lifting heavy things. God damn it! I got stuck in the terrain. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay, and it sucks, but that's okay. So as you notice, they didn't actually respawn because we haven't actually reset the area yet. Oh yeah, I should give a negative for that. I do appreciate your viewer botting, Spartan. I should tell everyone, just leave my channel on the side and muted all the time. Constantly. Don't actually do that. Twitch might care about that, but I don't. So let me show off what Bow's attack is like. Oh right, I should turn on the bot. And no, I don't think you can buy off the Autobots because they just don't have the same use for money. So this is, so she's got Out of Sight, that's the transparent thing. Surprise, remember, Fear is one of the more powerful abilities in this game. And of course, Smack, which is really, really good if they have no HP, or no defense, excuse me. And that's why. That was 5 damage if you missed that, which is more than any other companion can do at this point. Well, in that case, yes, Zakdaft! He will buy them out and make them his personal assassins! They will kill, murder, and die for his amusement. But yeah. Bow can do more damage than anyone else can on a single target, unless they have any defense at all. The problem with that is at a certain point of the game, I'd say like Chapter 6 and onwards, everyone has defense. Like every enemy has at least one defense. So... I just really want this guy to die. Tradition, Crazy Nurse. A hammer was one of the superpowers of the original Mario, aka before he was called Mario, when his name was Jumpman. That would actually be funny, Rex. You get additional experience because you wrecked their face. So, sorry, apparently I'm wrong. They're giving 3 experience each, so we're actually at the level we need to be. I was miscounting earlier. My bad. And here's what we really wanted. The key! The power. My god, the power. Do I enjoy combat? I love killing people here. Oh, you mean in the game? Yeah, yes. Sorry, I'm double checking something really quick. That's what I thought. Whoops. There we go. Oh, that's going to irritate me. There we go. Much better. Listen, Crazers, just because I love shooting demons and Nazis in the face. Non-Mario JRPG that has simple combat. So, quite a few games have come out over the years. That's wow. Which have essentially been inspired by / aped the Mario RPG combat system. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Supposedly Bug Fables is like that. Sea of Stars. I know there's others. I just can't think of any right now. I'm sorry. I have failed you, Yura. I really need to change up his attack sometime. Well, I said I'd show this off. So, remember, these enemies are weak to sleep, and we just got this power-up last chapter. So yeah, they're out for 4 turns. They're dead. Oh yeah, by the way. Damage doesn't wake you up from sleep in this game. Really? Whatever, I've already got my money's worth out of this stupid thing. Could have used that on the boss, but whatever. As an aside, I will admit I've played this game quite a bit, so I tend to balance a lot of my attacks based on that. Or, not attacks, sorry. Speaking in the wrong direction. I balance how many encounters I do based on that. You notice I'm actually sweeping this entire dungeon. The reason why is because these are relatively easy experience, and I do want to get 1 more level. Here. If I get 1 more level, these enemies will start giving 2 experience. I'll officially be above where I want to be. Or more accurately, exactly where I want to be. You know, that's exactly what Bladeval just asked me here. I'm sorry to ask a weird question, but what is it about the timing that strikes you as bad? Do you mind clarifying that? I don't mean that as an attack. I mean that as a legitimate statement. Why is that considered a negative? I mean, I suppose it could be a personal negative, but I can't see it as a review negative, right? Yeah, timing, it's actually funny. Most of the timing I do is far more like the second games, which is actually different. We'll talk about them when we get there. And is more rewarding in general. Yeah, admittedly, I happen to like this type of combat. Although, again, and I hate to keep repeating myself, it's easy to overdo it. Because, yeah, it's we have seen this overdone. It's the Mario and Luigi series. Mario and Luigi gets way too much into factory worker syndrome. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is going to be a mean one. So we're going to slow mode our way through this because we don't have anything we can do at the moment other than just not failing at timed hits. That's another reason I like timed hits. If you're fighting a particularly difficult fight, timed hits make it possible, right? If I didn't have timed hits, then this battle would kill me. That this very encounter I'm in right now would just crush my face. But if it's only one of them, for example, or two, like we saw earlier, I could manage that even if I wasn't getting any timed hit in, right? I mean, that makes sense, Blade Duval, and Lord knows I did get aggravated at Doom 5 for exactly that reason. And again, I do think it's down to the specific case. Ooh. Yeah, I'll take 12 bonus experience. Nice, Spartan. A decent amount of money, too. A couple more fights and we'll be exactly where I want to be. Sleep, Spartan. Don't watch my stupid... Come on, Bo! Bo! Bo's just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, bruh. While we're here. Also, and this is purely from a personal take, the timed hits in this game is kind of like aiming in Doom 5. I know that sounds strange, but hear me out for a second. Shooting the button to make things, you know, die is only half of the mechanic, right? You have to actually aim at the target and then decide what you want to hit with them and blah, 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 blah. That's how timed hits feel to me. I'm not just hitting the button to attack, I'm hitting the button and then timing it correctly to aim. Does that make any kind of sense? So you can probably understand why it doesn't really bother me to aim. Again, I do get what you're coming from, because, like, holy crap. Listen, Bragwin, I don't want to know what you're doing with them. That's not my business. That's hands off, literally, I suppose. I will admit, I try to get better about the timed hits on defense. I'm saying that wrong. Usually I focus more on timed hits for offense rather than defense, because the offense is just, it's aiming, like I was just saying. The defense tends to feel like bonus points, but if you get the defense right, you can push a lot further than what you're technically capable of doing at your current level. Which feels like a bonus to me, and therefore feels good. It also allows me to play around with more strategies, which I also like. Much better, Blade Cheval. Like, just top to bottom. The, no, I have not, Trihex. I'm guessing that's going on right now. Top right. Yeah, the defense is just different. The timing is different. So the offense is kind of static, right? In other words, once you figured out the timing for the jump, you've pretty much figured out the timing for the jump, and that's how that goes for the rest of the game, right? Oh, that's not very useful, actually. Oh, well. But every enemy in the game has a different attack timing. And so you have to have a different defense timing based on who's attacking you and what attack they're using. So defense is just kind of harder to do, which is probably why it feels more like bonus points. You're supposed to do the timed hits on the offense, but on the defense, it's not really balanced around that. There's other ways and other methods to push through that. You'll notice, for example, in this very playthrough, I haven't been using items a bunch, but it's a very valid and indeed easy strategy. Easy is the wrong word. It's very possible to just load your inventory down with mushrooms and push through all the damage. Because, I have access to super mushrooms at this point, which only cost like 15 gold. I could literally fill my inventory with super mushrooms. Each of those heal me for half of my max health. Right? So, what do I mean by better? So, first and foremost, objectively better because the timing window is wider. The timing window on Super Mario RPG is actually pretty tight. I don't know about in the remake, but it's definitely true in the original. You have just a few frames to get those bonus hits in. The timing also changes based on which type of weapon you have equipped and per character, so that's already more stuff to memorize than the stuff in this game. It's also all button presses, with like very, very few exceptions. In this game, there's hold left, there's hold the button down, there's tap the button at the right time, there's tap the button with a rhythm. You'll see a couple of others as we go. There's more variety in the interaction. It's easy. There's more variety in the interaction. It's a little bit easier to do, to the sense that it doesn't feel as punishing. And then on the defense side, so the defensive window on Super Mario RPG is ludicrous. And wrong? At least on the SNES version. In SNES versions, yeah, exactly, Rex. On the SNES version, the timing on defense varies based on internal clock cycles and animation loops. So an enemy comes and attacks you, like picture SMRPG, the SNES version, for just a second. Enemy comes up, does its little animation, then does the punch, and then there's a pause, and then you take the damage. Where do you hit defense in that? The answer is it varies, and that's the problem. In this game, it's a lot more static, and it's a lot more obvious when they're actually hitting you. So that's when you need to defend. Like you literally just saw me do when I was fighting the Clubbas. Clubba comes up, wonk. So you know you want to defend as his hammer's coming down, which you do, and then you block, right? So it's not just the windows being better, but also literally the animation does a better job of conveying when you should be doing what. And that's true on both axes. And if I could put this into much more vague terms, the SMRPG feels like the prototype of this system. This feels like a fulfillment of the system, a codifier. One moment. Oh yeah, there's another thing. You can get perfect defense in SMRPG. And in Paper Mario 2. I don't remember if it's in Paper Mario 1. There we go. Hem. Oops. Hey, Roxy. I'm glad you have been. It's always nice to know I'm doing something slightly right. So I'm going to level from this particular encounter. So we're going to go ahead and pop this. And then we're going to kill them all. All of them. I've been thinking about it in the back of my head, and I think Evo is awesome. But in addition to Evo being awesome, I really don't think any other N64 game would really contest the big three for me. But there's actually a really specific reason for that. And it's because I've never played Majora's Mask on the N64. So I don't really know how well it would review compared to something like, say, Majora's Mask on the 3DS, which I obviously have played. Interesting, Rex. It'll be fun to go through that someday. With that infinite amount of spare time I have. Hey, Taquota. Give me that level. Give me that level. Well, that sounds like they messed up the balancing then, Blade Ball. Which is, again, the whole point. Timed hits, to summarize my thoughts in a nutshell, the timed hits things are not inherently a good thing. That's what they do with them. I apologize for forcing you to go through this entire dungeon again, but I really wanted those. Yeah, sorry, I may or may not have done this game before. I might have played this game before. Well, if the difficulty is balanced, it really is, Dangerous. If the difficulty is balanced around you doing them about half the time, that actually sounds about right to me. That's where the Paper Marios 1 and 2 tend to be balanced around. Unlike the Mario and Luigi's, which are screw you if you don't do this every time. But you have to QTE to reload in Gears of War. Listen, Rex. I mean, I would argue this isn't an ARPG, but that's because the traditional definition of an ARPG is a game that is not turn-based. Or at least certainly doesn't look turn-based. You can only have one party member out at a time, correct? Oh god, that's actually worse, Dakota. So this is the Mega Rush badge. This is sort of the definition, the cornerstone, one might say, of the Danger Mario strategy. Actually, that's the Peril Mario strategy. Excuse me, that's not the Danger Mario strategy. I should probably talk about that. I'll show it off at least at some point. So, go back here. Quite a few badges give you an additional bonus when you're in danger status, which means you have 5 health or less. You also have the ability to lower your max health to 5. Yes, that still counts for danger status, if you're curious. It doesn't matter if it's a percentage of your health, just 5 health or less is danger status. Could you stop for 5 seconds? Thank you. So, you have a chance to just not take damage, period. You defend for more. You do more damage, and I think something else. And I forget the whole list. It's not actually that overpowered. In fact, it's actually very, very risky, because there's plenty of enemies who can hit you for more than 5 if you screw up. And if you screw up, well, yeah, you're dead. But if you do actually successfully don't get hit, then you will absolutely destroy everything, because, you know, you are being buffed by everything. So it's actually kind of a cool risk-reward situation. In Thousand Year Door, that strategy is completely broken. Now, hang on, there's an asterisk to that. Because the reason it's so broken in Thousand Year Door is because Thousand Year Door introduces this brand new concept called repeatable badges. Most badges you have a secondary source of in Thousand Year Door, so you can get a theoretically infinite supply of them. So in Thousand Year Door, instead of doing a bit more damage and occasionally not getting hit, you do like 50 more damage when you're in low health, and you always go first. Now, hang on. While that sounds ludicrous, and trust me, that'll one-shot most bosses, the catch, the caveat there is getting those extra badges is just, it's a go out of your way, use a walkthrough, and grind it out kind of a situation. It's FF5, right? It's FF5, Blue Magic, and Beastmaster. Sure, it's completely overpowered, but you have to go way out of your way to get that specific stuff, and that specific way to get that overpowered combo, so that doesn't bother me. Come on. Odd. I was trying to move slowly. And that did not work out. Okay. So since we just got a refill, let's keep our health at full, shall we? Weak to sleep. Sleep is another thing that feels like it's overpowered, but again, it doesn't work that well, and not on everything. Actually, yeah, Blade 12, that's a good comparison. And even in Thousand Year Door, if you screw up, you're dead. Oh, so you can't heal if you're full, kind of a thing, Dakota? That's a weird mechanic. Now, this is interesting. I noticed these are still giving 3 experience. So we're actually still at the level range they want us to be at for this section. Which means I was right to begin with. We actually are a little bit underleveled. I don't know why I doubted myself. I don't know, Yura. I haven't played it, so I can't even comment on it. Coins. You can always tell which buff it is from when it happens. You're wondering why I keep doing that. Okay, boss time. Oh, what's this? Oh. I smell something very fishy. We should fight him. So you actually can fight him here. You shouldn't. He really is straight up invincible here. So, this room... I feel like this room speaks for itself, to be quite honest with you. It's actually designed to be optional, but since we're a little underleveled... That's interesting. That guy only gave 2 experience. A lesser-known beat-em-up? Other than Jackie Chan's Adventures, obviously. heard of Battle Circuit, so yeah, you got me on that one. I'm debating if I want to kill all those enemies. You know, I can afford, what's your fig now? At least I think I can. I'll grab that while we're here, since there's no reason not to. And that, and that. Ah, screw it. Never heard of Brawl Brothers. Oh, actually, you know what? I got one. Super Ninja Brothers on the SNES. Although I've never played it solo, only co-op. You know what? Actually, I changed my mind. Let's not waste potential buffs on these guys. No, I think it absolutely could work, Roxy. I mean, Pokemon games in general tend to have lower numbers than your typical game. Correct, Crazy Horse. A bad game we could mock, deride, and make fun of. And, you know, have some fun with. The mid-game is just boring. Anyways, boss time. For real this time. I might be in trouble. That Star Spirit ran away. Now I think someone suspicious is in the castle. I sure don't want to make King Bowser mad. He's scary. He did make me invincible, but if I screw up, he might change me back to normal. Time for some beauty rest. How does he sleep on his spiked back? Hi there, I'm Yaki, a faithful and chatty follower of Master Tubba Blubba. My very important job is to guard his valuables. But you don't look like Master Tubba Blubba at all. That means you've come here to steal me, the magical key that unlocks the door to the Windy Mill at the foot of the Gusty Gulch. And furthermore, your goal is to find out if there's a secret inside that Windy Mill. Yeah. You're a very honest person, aren't you? Help! Master Tubba Blubba! A thief! Oh, what's all the noise? 5 more minutes, Mom. Time to run. Time to screw up running. Hey, you thief! Stop! This used to lag the N64 like crazy. So the way this works out, he is actually chasing us. If he catches us, he will force us into battle. There really is no option if he catches us in battle other than to run. The good news is it's relatively easy to stay ahead of him. At last, we've arrived at Tubba Blubba's castle. Ready, everyone? Be brave. We must do all we can to help Lady Bow. But what can we do? This is no time to lose our nerve, fellow boos. Our dear lady is fighting against Tubba Blubba himself. We mustn't hesitate. Come back here. Hi. Hold the door. What's that noise? Hubba Blubba's chasing you. He's right on the other side of the door. What? You might be able to find out his weak point. Of course, the windmill at the foot of the hill. You must hurry. Run as fast as you can. We'll hold him here. It's too dangerous. He's a madman. He'll eat every last one of you. Yeah, by the way, I'm going to spoil something for you. At a certain point here, he's going to fight us down the hill, which means he has successfully pushed past this door and ate all these boos. You're welcome. I don't know how long we can keep holding this. Don't worry about us. Go. Don't look back. You smell delicious. Ghost. Open the door. Hold the door. So it's easy to screw this up because despite the theme and the tone of the events, this is actually a normal, like, overworld section, so you still gotta dodge all the hyper crap. And, I mean, hypers are hypers, right? Windy Mill? Just keep going down. You'll see it before you reach the mansion. Huh? Hubba Blubba's coming. Yep, you might want to hide. Some boos just went to help you. What happened to them? They got there just in time. Now, you might think, what's the point, considering we're going to stay ahead of him anyways? Well, you'll see. Everyone's like, oh god, we gotta hide. Quick, hide, run! Yes, it does, Octave. So, if you're paying any kind of attention, you noticed this locked door the first time we went through. In fact, it was impossible to miss. No entry allowed. I should probably just kill these. It just occurred to me. That's a good question, Roxy. I don't know. I don't know what they would do with this if they were to try and do a remake of Paper Mario. You'll notice we got a remake of Paper Mario 1, that is to say 0, and 2, before we got a remake of Paper Mario 1. Which feels like a really weird choice. Both are apparently pretty solid remasters, or remakes, or whatever. And this is the important part, both sold extremely well. So I have a theory that's kind of unrelated to all of this. So some of you may or may not know that the Mario & Luigi series is made by a team who I can't think of their name all of a sudden, but anyways, it's always been made by that same team. Oh, I got you, Mad Overlord. I have no idea. Alpha Dream, thank you. And they're cool, I guess. They have their own problems. But, you know, they do their own thing. They shut down Lizzie Not World, which sucked for various reasons. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Blue Fusion Volt. So they shut down after some rather disappointing sales of their two most recent games, which was a 3DS remake of Mario & Luigi 1 and Mario & Luigi 3. Now, that sucked for a lot of reasons, because I should mention those remakes are solid, and those games are solid. But the reason they didn't sell well is because those came out well into the Switch's lifespan. The 3DS never had a bump like the DS or the Switch did. And, well, pretty much everyone who was interested in gaming, either in general or on Nintendo stuff or handheld, had already transitioned fully to the Switch. So as you might imagine, of course those games didn't sell well. Yeah, too late, wrong platform. It's more or less the exact same problem Final Fantasy IX had. So, that... Sorry, I just thought I heard something. So those sales sucked, and the company shut down, blah, blah, blah. Now, last I checked, and feel free to correct me on this, we don't actually know what happened with the Alpha Dream team. However, we do know that there's a new Mario & Luigi game coming out in like a month. made by They Refuse to Say. So what I'm hoping happened is Nintendo, someone corporate at Nintendo saw that Mario RPGs are actually doing quite well, which they are. The Super Mario RPG R and the Paper Mario 2 R both sold bonkers well. So I'm kind of hoping they saw that and said, yeah, okay, and went ahead and pulled in the Alpha Dream team, and they just work at Nintendo now. They went from being a second-party developer to a first-party developer. I don't know, though, because last I checked, we still don't know who's making Brothership, even though it's coming out in a month. There we go. Really? No entry allowed. Consequently, I have no idea if Brothership's going to be good or not. I like the Mario & Luigi series, but as I've been talking about this entire playthrough, they make some pretty stark mistakes with those games. I do like the new, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what they call it. The AI thing you can set up in battle. Like what the AI thing, or like what the mistakes they make? Yeah, the plugs, that's what they call it. I've only glanced at the gameplay videos because Nintendo's marketing team has no idea what they're doing. No, I meant gameplay mistakes. Yeah, we'll go and eat the egg. Yeah, that's the problem. Everything is still the realm of rumor, Ross. It's weird. Absolutely no entry allowed. Who are you? What? Mario? Did someone tell you that I'm the secret strength of Tubba Blubba? No. Someone spilled the beans that Tubba Blubba in the castle's just a shell, and I'm controlling it from here? No. You can't trust anybody. I can't let you out of here knowing the secret of my invincible body. Sorry, but here we go. So, time to fight the invincible Tubba Blubba's heart. I really should have swapped to Mario first. Whatever. This is Tubba's heart. You might say it's the heart of the secret. Yeah, that wasn't funny. Max HP 50, attack power 6. He has a terrible attack, and so hide when he tells you he's about to unleash it. It'll do a 12 damage. Try to beat him before he gets a huge attack 10. Trust me, it's dangerous. Yep. Blah, 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 blah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna do a great attack. It's impossible to avoid. I just have to prepare for a bit, so hang on for a second. Yeah, so, of course, the boss does the same thing the Trash has been doing the whole game, the hyper attacks. That's not a complaint. I like Trash that tutorializes boss mechanics. He also knows this is the first time I'm actually dodging those attacks, so that's what the hide attack does in combat. You burn her turn to make you just straight up invincible for the next attack that happens. Or the next round, I should say. So, spend a little bit of mana here. To do that. Hey you, Lady Ghost, you look quite tasty. Stick around after the battle. Fighting makes me hungry. Ugh, you wish. You don't have a chance, you ghost gobbling freak. Mario, now I'm really mad. Let's beat this thing up. Ghosts and goblins. Oh my god, Roxy. So, what kind of mistakes did Mario and Luigi make? So, mistake number 1. I've actually already commented on this like 7,000 times, so forgive me for the repetition. But one of the biggest mistakes the Mario & Luigi series makes is the interactions, the action commands, are way too involved and way too mandatory. If you know how we were just talking about how the game is balanced on you getting about half of them? Imagine the game being balanced around you getting more like 90% of them. And if you fail, sucks to be you. You will absolutely get shreked. That's on defense and offense, by the way. If you don't do defense, you're doing like half the damage output you should be, if not less. And if you don't do the defense, then you just die. Speaking of, so you've got Mario and Luigi, and that's your party, right? If at any point in time one of them dies, the other one goes and picks up their partner, which makes all of their attacks worse and all of their ability to defend worse. In other words, you have to do a Q&E to defend, right? But if you lose one of your party members, then the other guy has to carry that guy, meaning it's harder to defend. So in other words, the moment you start to screw up on any given boss battle, it suddenly turns into a spiral. You just start spiraling completely out of control, and it's very, very difficult to recover from that. In many cases, on many bosses, it's actually better to just restart the fight. Now, Rex is correct. Which specific game does how bad with that varies based on the individual game, as it usually does. Some of the earlier Mario & Luigi games are fine about that. 1, 2, and 3 are all just kind of fine. By the time we got to Luigi's Dream Team is when that started getting bad. When it got to the Paper Jam, it gets awful. Just terrible. So I'm doing some math in my head. Yeah, this is worth doing. We're gonna go into it. Yeah, that's just one mistake. It's a huge mistake, because it affects every single boss battle in the game. But it is still really frustrating. And again, it is a constant frustrator. I can also explain something story-wise the Mario & Luigi series started doing badly. I'll get to that in just a second, though. Get out of here. Exactly, Roxy. On almost every boss battle, you're doing the super moves every single round. And the boss's attacks is something like... Picture the Petey Piranha fight in 4 or 5. I forget which ones it's in. Every single time he does his long-term attack, you have like a solid minute-long minigame of dodging his attacks. Which hurt like hell, by the way. Is it possible to beat him here? You can push him down to 1 health, but it doesn't matter. So no, effectively. I'm debating something. I'm gonna go and blow a syrup. And I don't want to blow a dried fruit on this, so we'll not do that for now. Get back here. On the off chance I just made a mistake, I am going to go ahead and grab a save point here. Just in case. Time to reunite. Oh yeah, now I'm feeling good. My heart and body united, there's no way to beat me. So here's the funny thing. All of his stats are the same now as any... So anytime he actually interacted with you, there was a real fight with real attacks and all that fun stuff. And he hits like a truck, but he also has infinite HP. He no longer has infinite HP. And he's dead. Oh no. With my heart and body united, I'm not invincible anymore. Oh, I'm back to not invincible Tubba Blubba. That's so lame. I'll give up. Look, I'll give back all the ghosts I ate. How does that even work? I'm actually a really sensitive guy, trapped in a huge body. I don't want to be invincible anymore. It means I have to fight guys like you. Serves you right. Anyone who got eaten has been returned safely. Hooray! But I guess I'd better tell everyone not to scare old Tubba Blubba anymore. Yeah, we used to love scaring Tubba Blubba night and day because he's such a coward. Oh well, we're not sorry for it. Scaring folks is what ghosts do, so boo on him. Ha! Besides, that was a pretty invigorating experience. I've never felt so full of excitement before. Ahem. It was also a good learning experience. I think I'd better experience some more of the outside world. So, I think I'll accompany you a little while longer. Is that okay? Of course it's okay, right? No. Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Done. You're so lucky to be able to travel with me. Here you go. I'm giving you back the Star Spirit, as promised. Bootler! Snap to it. Come here. Yeah, Mario. He's free now. Good morning, Judo Joker. Welcome to the end of Chapter 3. I mean, welcome to the end of Chapter 3. Oh God, Judo Joker, please don't. No, no, no! After solving the... If I suddenly stop stream, you can't do anything. After solving the secret of the invincible Tubba Blubba, Mario and party set free Star Spirit Scholar. Now, with Tubba Blubba just a bad dream, the boos are free to haunt to their heart's content. Even the lonely wind echoing through Gusty Gulch seems to be celebrating the victory. At least, for now. The newest party member, Bo, in tow, Mario and friends are ready to take on their next challenge. Meanwhile... I wonder how Mario's doing. Do you think he found a way to beat that Tubba Blubba? I wonder too. I'm so worried. What if Mario got hurt? Well, no use wondering. Why don't we go out and try to eavesdrop again? Mario managed to beat Tubba Blubba by now. Bowser and his followers will be really, really mad, don't you think? You may be right. There's no use just sitting around worrying about this. Oh my god, booze taste like marshmallows. Favorite Star Spirit, gameplay-wise or story-wise, Blue Fusion Volt? Gameplay-wise. Well, I'm boring. So when I was a kid, and by a kid I mean a teenager and in college, my favorite was Scholar, the one we just got. So for those of you not aware, what Scholar does is he does 7 damage to all enemies. Let me be clear about how I phrase that. He doesn't hit them for 7, he does 7 damage, regardless of their defenses. So that's a screen sweeper. And it's extremely useful on quite a few things. Now, there's... yeah, no, 7 damage... I mean, you've seen this game, right? I'm still not even doing 7 damage per hit, and I'm over halfway through the game. Any enemies he's necessary for? No. However, interestingly enough, the next dungeon, the next chapter we're about to do, has a lot of swarm enemies, many of whom have 7 health. I'm telling you. Alright, what'd you do, Judo Joker? No! Okay. I knew that was coming. It's time, Judo Joker. It's time to crap on another beloved game. Yeah, 7 damage to the screen is literally always useful, especially piercing damage. It also only costs 2 star power. Keeping in mind, we only admittedly have 3 star power at the moment, but still, 2 star power isn't a tremendously large amount to blow on a sweep, right? In beat-em-up terms, the bomb, right? The super move. Or the power bomb from Star Fox. Mistar. Yeah, no, that's a solid choice. So Mistar, which we don't get yet, that's a 20 health. And that does cost 3, which is unfortunate, but still, that is a frickin' heal for 20. Now, Klevar is kind of a weird one. We'll talk about him when we get there. And Kalmar is probably the most useful one. Or, excuse me, useless one. Except for some very specific fights, which, again, we'll get there later. But anyways, I'm getting off topic, so. And thank you, Judo Joker, for the support. I have put that down for buying a PS3 game. Probably because nobody really thought about it. In my experience, Serum Blue Fusion Bolt. In my experience, most of the ways useless abilities happen is the developers don't do proper cross-referencing of their own work, right? Like, you work on something, and it's like, okay, we'll design this ability, and it'll do this. And then they just kind of move on and work on other stuff, and months pass, and they forget that this other ability even exists. And then, of course, they don't do proper QA testing, because why would you properly QA test a game? Don't be stupid. Can't be. No. Explain that again, slowly. Your wretchedness, I keep trying to tell you. Hubba Blubba was defeated by Mario. Well, that's strange, because you told me he was invincible! How can you beat someone who's invincible? Actually, there's a lot of ways. Throw him into the middle of the sun, bury him under some concrete, let them roam the vast emptiness of space. Stupid Mario. Guess maybe he found out the secret that made Hubba Blubba not so invincible. And then he beat him. Ah, I despise Mario. Really? Your filthiness, we have to come up with another tactic, and quickly. Mario will most likely go to the Shy Guy's toy box next. Yes, we should prepare something there for his arrival. I won't be satisfied just having him beaten up anymore. What we need to do is find his weak point and completely humiliate him. Yeah. Kamikoopa, you've got to find out what Mario hates, For the love of... Why is Princess Peach here? What is wrong with those guards? Ugh. No, wait, hang on. This is actually good timing, my mischievous princess. We're just discussing the weak points of our mutual friend, Mario. So, Princess Peach, what do you know about his weaknesses? Listen, you must be honest. Which of these things does he hate most? A Goomba? A Klubba? Or a mushroom? I'm gonna go with the Goomba in this case. I see, excellent. Is there another thing that fills him with dread? So we could go with the Hammer Brothers, which, I remind you, is tied for the hardest enemy that isn't a boss in the entire game. Or a Fuzzy, which we fought in the first chapter. Or a Thunder Rage. I've actually picked the honest options here at least once for challenges purposes. And again, fighting a single Hammer Brother at this level is actually brutal. Speaking of which, the other hardest enemy in the game is the Koopa Troll. Yeah, no. Excellent, perfect. Thanks, Princess. Be sure Mario can't avoid these things he hates. We'll beat him for sure. Did you get all that, Kamikoopa? Get going immediately. I'm not sure we can entirely trust what the princess tells us, but I'll do as you say. Of course you will. My tactics are brilliant. They're pure art. So, Cammy, have Princess Peach taken back to her room immediately. Finally, we'll witness the end of Mario at last! Guards, attention. Take Princess Peach back to her room at once. Yes, ma'am. No, not again! I actually have no idea, Crazy Nurse. Even when I played this for the first time, I could pick up on that. But, again, I was 18 when this game... No, 19 when this game came out. Hello again, Mario. I knew you could do it. I don't know how to thank you. I knew it was the right decision to ask you to help us. You're a great man. Now that I'm free, I can help you. Ah! Here's my favorite attack of the game. I just talked this up. It's the 7 damage sweep. Mario, I have a bit of bad news. Unfortunately, Bowser's life force seems to be getting stronger all the time. Most likely the Star Rod that's giving him more power. We're not even sure if he's noticing or not, but there's no question it's making him stronger than before. For the longest time, I was confused about this, because this felt like a plot point that goes nowhere. It's actually a lore explanation for why his stats are higher at the end of the game. I'll have to be much more careful in the coming trials. I'm sorry to leave, but I must go back to Starhaven. The other Star Spirits are waiting for me there. Oh, and if you could, please keep it a secret. I got lost in the Forever Forest. Thanks, Mario. Bye! Wonderful, Ross. I'm glad you're liking it. If it was a 10-hour game, I'd probably love it. No. I'll go up to 15. That's my final offer. Let's swap out Mario. So far, almost all of the things, we've gotten some kind of guidance on where to go next. There's nothing to do, so I guess we'll just go back to town? I mean, Get a hard save in here. Nope, 15's the limit off the deeper end. 15 hours or bust. If you're longer than FF6, you're too long. Oh, that would be awesome. Bugs, get him off me. I'm lost in a freaky forest. Help. Oh. I actually forgot there was another Junior Trooper here. Oh, Mario, think. I mean, ha. Boy, are you unlucky to run into me again. Why, it's Junior Trooper. Have you been crying? Did you get lost in there? Shut up, shut up. I'm not a lost child. I'm your worst nightmare. Here comes the pain. Don't think I'm as vulnerable as I was before. Check this out. More power. Guess why we bought King Mario for this. That's right. Let's see how you like the new improved Junior Trooper. Okay. Trooper. I can't get enough of this guy. The little guy get lost in the big bad forest. 40 HP. 5 attack power. Apparently he's grown wings so he can fly now. You'll have to jump to reach him. He's a bit stronger, so maybe worth using any items you have. I hope you just saved, by the way. This is probably the most out-of-nowhere screw-you fight here. There's actually one later that's technically harder, but by the time it happens, you have so much kit, it's just easier. So this is probably... probably the hardest of the Junior Trooper fights. My opinion. Ah! That was a waste. How does a shotgun drive, Octaved? So anyways, this is Starstorm. Looks cool, too. Stay down. You'll notice that these this is part of the reason I've jotted down a negative for the Junior Trooper fights. There's no boss design there. He has one attack that hits you for 6. That's it. He's literally just a pile of stats. The only thing he changes is periodically throughout the course of the game, he changes up what he's vulnerable to. I'm afraid not, Zach Teft. I have no thoughts. Yeah, he adds nothing story-wise, too. He's just there. Really? Did I do it right twice in a row? Dang it. I did. I really did. Yep. Next one is flying with Spike, I think. And then the last one, he can switch between his forms. No? Am I still going the right way? God damn it! I am. So you can warp back to the beginning if you just go the wrong way once. But I keep going the right way on accident, and it's really irritating. Nope. Oh my god. Go away. There we go. Jesus. A minute on the forest. I can kiss the ground. Yahoo! It's easy to get out. It's not easy to get through. So, I don't like this song. Get used to hearing it for a while, because we're going to be here in a minute. Shy Guys have been raising a ruckus all over town, but compared to ghosts, Shy Guys are nothing. No, my favorite frying pan! You know, fair, Bad Overlord. Get your hands off of my calculator! Stop, thief! Oh, it's you, Mario. What fortunate timing. The town seems to be pretty active today, but it's none of my concern. We're being invaded by orcs, but who cares? I had a dream last night. Another oracle spoke to me. Its voice was heavenly. If you keep going around and around the red palm tree in the distant desert town of Dry Dry Outpost, something good will happen. It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Thinking about it makes me so uneasy I can't sleep at night. If you find out what happens, please tell me. Red palm tree, huh? Sure. How many Koopa Troopas has been beaten up by Mario? It's shameful. Signed, an anonymous Koopa. Shy Guy invasion. Robbing rogues, run roughshod. A squad of scurrilous Shy Guys have beset Toad Town, leaving our fair citizens in a daze. The thefts are too numerous to name here, but suffice it to say residents are urged to guard their possessions. It's still unclear where the Shy Guys are hiding out. We'll post news as it breaks. I need to switch to bow now. Bow. No! Words are mocking me. I need that dictionary. Shy Guy took over my shop. My precious shop, please. Tee-hee-hee. Welcome to Shy Guy's shop. Too bad I'm not going to sell anything to you, Mario. Oh no, poor me. Oh man, I would love a Shy Guy companion. Let me show that little hooligan a thing or two. Hooray, thank you so much. I'm still giving great deals at rock bottom prices. You got anything more tangible, buddy? Just gonna get rid of that. Everything, Roxy. Shy Guys are awesome. Like, the idea would probably be you change their mask or whatever, and that changes what they do. Dad, you're so cool. Sorry. Take off, you lousy Shao Guy. I don't care how convincing your Mario disguise is. You aren't getting in. Stay away from my family. I think that has happened, Crazy Norse, but honestly, I can't think of an example off the top of my head. I heard the Shy Guys are causing trouble all over town, but as long as you're with me, you'll always be safe. As long as you stay with me, I shall have nothing to fear but my love. Wait, what? I don't know, I really like Shy Guys, I always have. They're one of the more interesting of the various Mario races to me. So... I don't know what else to add to that. See, that's a fascinating question, Dakota. I actually haven't ignored you. I've been chewing on it. Because my knee-jerk thought was make some gauges raise and some gauges drain, but you're absolutely right. Some kind of consistency is important. Top 3 Mario races? Shy Guys. Hang on, I gotta think about that past that point. I'm gonna list Bob-ombs as my second. I've always found the idea of the Bob-omb fascinating, and I admit I'm a little bit biased, because I've already built an entire Bob-omb faction for a 4X game in my head. I'm gonna make that Mario 4X game day someday. I'm gonna copy-paste some images and some names. That is to say, not copy-paste, find replace. But I'm gonna make it. We found out you defeated Tubba Blubba. I knew you could do it. I just knew it. When we heard the news, the princess was very relieved. Oh, yes, I've got news and information about the Honorable Star Spirits who are still imprisoned. Have you ever heard of Shy Guy's Toy Box? Seems that the Honorable Star Spirits is being held there. But where on earth is Shy Guy's Toy Box? Oh, time is short. I have to go back now. Good luck. Bye. Yeah, the legally distinct kabooms! Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We're kind of in the era of screw it, I'll do it myself right now. Why not embrace it? It's not my fault they're not doing their freaking jobs. You gave us a Mario XCOM. Give me my Mario 4X. It was even a good Mario XCOM. I didn't think so. So, I was stuck at this point for quite a while. I'm going to admit that. This is probably the single biggest example of walkthrough in the game, followed immediately by getting all those bulbs we've already gotten. Someone go kill Trihexia for me, really quick, please. Just like a really quick murder, you know? Like, bury him in donuts and he has to eat his way out and then he dies in 50 years from diabetes. Something like that, you know? Yeah, seriously, Shadow Machine. It really is a weirdly common trend right now. For people to just be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to make my own. Hell, I even liked Project Wingman. I know. Shocking. I mean, 1,000,000 pennies would probably weigh a decent chunk. Isn't it great that we just have a fast travel and can just go here? Oh, there's the palm tree. I mean, kinda, yeah, Crazy Horse. Excuse me, can I talk to you for a sec? What exactly are you doing walking around that tree? You're making me dizzy. What? You're joking. You believe some crazy dream? Oh, okay, I guess. I mean, I got a message in a dream long ago, but it didn't mean anything. It said there's a house with a whirling roof in a large town near a castle. If you spin jump 3 times inside the house, something good should happen to you. A house with a whirling roof. As if that existed. I don't take dreams seriously. Yes, Judo Joker, but you can't put it towards any beloved classics. Yeah, time is as ever the enemy of such a thing. Jesus Christ, Playful. Get on board or get out of the way. No, not the awful block. No. Huh? Oh, this badge is quick change. You're a very lucky man. You should put that badge on. So, quick change... I don't want to say it's mandatory, because obviously no badge in this game is mandatory. But quick change is a really good badge. The problem is it costs 4 badge points. That's over a level just for this one benefit. But it lets you change your party members and then still use them without losing a turn. In other words, changing party members suddenly becomes a free action, to put it into simple terminology. That's really, really useful. It also pretty much guarantees that if you get caught in a battle with the wrong party member out, it's no longer a problem. You don't effectively lose a turn trying to fix that problem. We'll probably put that on. We'll get rid of these two, because I'm not even using them. There we go. Not even a bonus action, just a straight-up free action. You can just swap. Just swap. Just keep swapping forever. Doesn't matter. Swap, 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 swap. Now, once you take your action, you're locked in. But, like, even if... It's doubly funny, because, like, if I accidentally screw up switching to the wrong party member, I can then swap again, because, whoops. In fact, it's so useful, it's been debated if it should be a badge at all, or just a default. That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure what to say about that person. But anyways. Where do you think Shy Guy's toy box is? Because that's our progression path right now. Let's talk to some people. What do we got? What do we got? Oh my god, the stuff was stolen by the Shy Guys. Oh my god, the post office was robbed. Oh my god, the Shy Guys come from the west. Okay, to the west. Have you heard of Rusty? His books were stolen. No. Shy Guys are coming from somewhere in Toad Town. Where could they be? They must be in a house. Okay. I guess it's not terrible, but that's why I baked that into an aggregate. Okay, I guess it's a little bit more obvious than I thought where they are. Ugh, fine, you win. No walk the ride is negative. I guess. Sigh. But before we do this, we need to go and become more powerful. Who's down with power? Actually, I should go this way. Yep, we're gonna Virgil it up here. So this is definitely a negative. Star pieces are hidden absolutely all over the place, and frankly, good luck finding them. The way you're supposed to find them is to go to every screen in the game and do this. And I don't mean every screen as in every cell, I mean every screen. Every part of the game you can see, right? And you just do this everywhere. It's X-ray scanning every scene. That's all it is. It's the damn X-ray thing all over again. It's actually worse than Korok seeds, though. And better at the exact same time. So the better is there's not that many shards. So that's good. The worse is these are much, much more useful than Korok seeds. Korok seeds give you more inventory. That's nice. These give you some of the best badges in the game. And of course, you can't even start getting them until you get the second, this thing, which we got in Chapter 3. So a little under halfway through the game before you can even start looking for these stupid things. And yes, sorry, Rex is correct. There is a badge that helps. Basically, any cell that has a hidden star in it, it flashes saying, hey, there's a star here. But that's kind of it. So that it reduces the grind. All you have to do is run through every single zone in the entire game with that badge on. By the way, we don't have that badge yet, just to further add to that. Hang on, there's another addendum which makes this even worse, believe it or not. I'll talk about that in just a minute, though. It does help in the interest of fairness. It just doesn't help as much as I would prefer, you know? Okay, so did you see it pounce there for just a second? There it is again if you missed it. Here's the relevance. If I bounce over here, it doesn't show up. That's a problem. What should happen is anytime you bounce, if it's renderable, it does the bounce, so you see where it is. In other words, you check per screen. As is, you actually have to walk about 10 feet. Come on. And then do it. Yeah, the range is way too short. This is why the Star Piece Finder badge helps, but doesn't help enough. I think you're right, Shiholing. So yeah, we got it on the ground, just like this is frickin' Doom. Thankfully, the Mario Wiki is actually one of the better wikis out there. It not only has directions, so locations, directions, numbers, but also pictures of exactly where they are. And, while we're on the subject, also lists them in roughly the order in which you would find them if you were just naturally playing the game. So that's cool. And I mean that. That is actually helpful. The game gets no credit for that. But it's nice for me. There it is. I would say the absolute minimum you need is 25, which we are past right now. There's plenty of good stuff past the 25 marker, which is why we're still going. Alright, this actually won't take me long since I know where I'm going, but you get my point. Generally speaking, you will get 25 star pieces if you're decent about exploring the world, but you'll probably get none of them from these. Like, I know several players who have essentially never gotten any of these stars, other than, like, the tutorial one. Toads, Shy Guys, Bob-ombs, Koopas, Goombas, Penguins, Yoshis, Boos, Lumas, Piantas, Nokis, Piranha Plants, Shroobs, X-Knots, Beanish, Kongs, Womps and Thwomps, Cheap Sheeps and Bloopers, Monsters and Moles. So, something I've debated for a while is changing up. So, like, obviously, I want to sit down and do exactly what you just did, Shadow Machine. But I also like the idea of making it so that not all of them are playable, or maybe not all of them are intended playable, if that makes any sense. In other words, like, we'll use the X-Knots, or, actually, no, the Shroobs are a better example of that. Imagine the Shroobs are an event, right? Instead of actually being a playable faction, there's something that can happen, like an endgame crisis kind of a thing from Stellaris. Or maybe they're a mercenary faction, which you can hire, but don't actually have a fully fleshed out faction side. Or, maybe they are like the people you can buy research from, also from Stellaris. Stuff like that, right? So what I would probably do is sit down and figure out each of the types of things I would want to fill slots with. And then go ahead and figure out, okay, you know, how do we want to part and parcel these out? Having said that, any factions that I think should be present that you didn't mention? Actually, yes, I do have one. It's Bowser's faction. I know that sounds weird because you just mentioned, you know, Shy Guys and Bob-ombs and Koopas and Goombas, but no, I actually think Bowser should be his own faction. Who's got, you know, the more military-bented stuff, but like a lot more detriments alongside that, but probably the really high elite units, which is something I've thought about a few times. Am I in the wrong spot? Okay, go away so I can think. Ah, shoot, I just completely screwed that up. Good thing I have the quick change. So there's the benefit of the quick change in action. Oh yeah, Dry Bones. Although Dry Bones might make for a good Bowser unit. What I would probably do with something like a Bowser faction is, yeah, very elite, very expensive, low morale. I like all of that. But also, Bowser could just kind of gain units from other factions, like as a major mechanic. Yeah, exactly, Blade Tavell. Mixed... Oh my god, really? Now? Anyways, yeah, I would want Bowser to be mixed units. God damn it, you're not even... Oh my god. I just... One of the things we also came up with was the princess mechanic. There was going to be a whole gameplay mechanic around the idea of kidnapping Peach. For her, for anybody who rescues her, and for Bowser. Or anybody who captures her, because it doesn't have to be Bowser, right? It could be anybody. So the person who kidnaps her gains bonuses, but also effectively gets a big old target on their head. Because everyone else wants those bonuses. And any faction that rescues Peach also gets bonuses. And then we had a whole idea for Peach herself having bonuses for being both kidnapped and rescued. So she wants to constantly go through a cycle of kidnapping and rescuing. Everyone else wants to kidnap her, and everyone else wants to rescue her. And it's kind of like rotating buffs, right? I really want you to die. Go away. I'm not sure if that's an insult or a compliment, Crazy Norse. Yeah, we could also vary it up. There it is. Welcome back, Scout. Yeah, Peach is the football. I would also ideally make a mechanic where Peach is useful if she's not currently kidnapped, because I would want it to be a choice for that player, right? In other words, the player could deliberately cycle her to constantly be kidnapped, or could try very hard to not get kidnapped in order to gain the other benefits. And it wouldn't be like better or worse, it would just be a different playstyle kind of a thing. At least that's what I would do with it. Could someone do me a favor really quick? We put Brothership in the Mario and Luigi block, right? Pretty sure we did. I mean, that's a long-ass block, but... Yeah, exactly, Roxy. And it's not like Peach isn't a badass in her own right. I mean, she can literally solo the super optional of SMRPG. Not a joke. Thank you for being part of the show, Shadow Machine. Give me a moment, and I will jot that down. 100 something, I think, Triaxia. I forget the exact number. That's going towards Mario and Luigi block. Pokemon Violet, and well, War Within. Okay, so, no reason. Ready to save here. Yep. I want to do the quiz to get another star piece. I want all the star pieces. This is probably the only real time. Red and white? Yep. This is probably the only specific time I'm going to go ahead and get all the star pieces. I wasn't sure about that one, Crazy Norse. But I was pretty sure. You know, that's a good point, Shadow Machine. Cannot argue. Okay. I'm almost done. I only need to get 3 more star shards, or excuse me, 6. Sorry, 6 more star shards. And then we're gonna go buy stuff with them. And then I'm gonna try that chicken Big Mac for lunch. I'm serious, I can't wait to try that. It's probably not even interesting, I'm gonna try it. Come on. Come on, I know you're here. You've got a little time, Rex. Paper Mario 2 is kind of a chonky game, and we're going to be doing a decent amount of optional stuff. We are not doing the 100 Floors dungeon. I'm just going to give that away right now. Oh, hello. Yes, it just came out like this week, Jitto Joker. It's just such a large block. That's why, Shadow Machine. I've actually considered removing it from block status. And just accepting doing them in order, you know? Because it's just so long. Item. No, strategies. Yep. So. Can we think of a genre which doesn't fit the Mario setting? I think we already have. First-person shooter. Me too, Umbral Magnus. Me too. I mean, I'll poke at the Pit of 100 Trials, but the problem is the Pit of 100 Trials is long. It doesn't look like it, because you just blast through the first few levels, but trust me, it's hours. It is hours to go through the Pit of 100 Trials, even if you're ready for it, even if you're set up and geared and everything. A RimWorld. Yeah, actually. Like, I could see a management sim working very well for Mario, but it wouldn't be like RimWorld. It'd be like, you know, 2 Point Hospital, or, I don't actually have another comparison. Dwarf Fortress... Yeah, a builder game in Mario. Oh, gimme. I was actually talking to a friend about this recently. Name a genre which wouldn't benefit from having some kind of city builder. There's probably I don't know what's a genre. Name a setting. Name a setting that wouldn't benefit from having a city builder. Because, yeah, I am Mario. I mean, we're way past this at this point, but you know, while we're here, just to be thorough. What? What? What the hell was that? I can explain what happens. So the home button's right there. So I was holding with my left hand and I was mashing, and I accidentally hit the home button with my left thumb. Sorry, guys. I haven't been giving Nintendo all my money. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that sucks. Oh, I don't know, Rumble Magnus. Let's get Vivian in this one, and then Bo in the second one. There you go. Boom. Done. Let's just swap those two. This is Buzzar. He guards Mount Rugged. That's one big bird. Yeah, he's got 40 health and 3 attack power. If you get caught in the clutches of his sharp claws, you'll lose 4 HP. His special attack is flapping to create a wind. Wasn't he hatching eggs? I wonder if he's really a she. I wonder. But he's dead. She's dead? That's why I even bothered, by the way. I got whooped. Yep. And he's gone forever. Just in case. We're almost done. Like I said, 4 more. 4 more. Whoops. Why wouldn't I Trihex you? I need those coins. They're so beautiful, the gold. The way the gold glimmers and shines is just... sorry. So I'm guessing... Hang on. Without telling me what the second boss is, how do you access it, Shadow Machine? Let's just get that out of the way. That's everything, right? Let me double check the list. Yep. Other than these 3. At this point, it's faster to just go this way. So that's what we're gonna do. I do kind of wish we had some kind of Hearthstone-y mechanic, but whatever. Paper Mario 2 is a little bit better about preventing backtracking, with one huge exception. But you'll notice that only took us, like, looks like about 15 minutes, and we're pretty much swept on star shards for the rest of the game. Oh my god, so you have to do the pit twice? We'll see. We'll see. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. We'll see if the new... basically, if the remaster makes it less arduous to do the pit. Yep. Wrong way. Wrong way. Hazard, geesh. Oh, there it is. Yeah, for those of you not aware what we're talking about, the hardest enemies in the game, actually, in Paper Mario 2 are in the second half of the pit. Enemies you literally can't find anywhere else. Oh no, it is the correct way to do things, Roxy. Whether that's good or bad, it's unquestionable. Some of them have been memory, some of them have been guide. Triaxia. For example, one of the easiest ones to find, that I almost always find, is right here. I've actually been thinking about that. Remember when we were playing Breath of the Wild, and one of my biggest complaints was that the game sucks and it's literally Hitler? And when you decide to upgrade your whatever, you can either upgrade your stamina or your health, and it was just almost objectively the correct choice to pick stamina for a decent chunk of the game. But also, it was extremely penalizing to not pick health. And it was just this whole weird decision. And the option I gave as a potential workaround is you raise stamina, and it automatically gives you another heart, right? You just get both. I think these games could benefit from a similar concept. You raise your badge points, or your FP, and you automatically raise your HP. That's probably the way I would do that. Do you want more tools in your kit, or do you want more usages of your kit? Make sense? Speaking of, let's go ahead and grab those badges that Peach put in here earlier. Hi, Czar. So here's the best shop in the game. So let's talk about some of the badges they give. That one changes the sound effects. And that's fine. That one, the more damage you take, the more coins you receive. Which sounds useless, but actually with a specific other badge, and I forget what it's called, so forgive me. But with one other badge, that suddenly makes you just generate money like crazy. It pretty much solves the money problem for the entire rest of the game. Chill Out. Prevents first strikes. Now, that's whatever, but if that is something you prefer, I mean, that's there to help the player out. You notice that's relatively cheap, too. Only 3 shards, which is a joke to get, and I think that only takes 1 badge point. One moment, please. Okay, pretty lucky. Every now and again, enemies just don't attack you. Now, what I mean by that is they'll try to attack you and it'll go whoosh, just right through you. This is weirdly useful. This is kind of the same general concept as the buffs you get from the mage we got back in the Dry Town. In other words, every now and again, it's just a freebie. And that seems useless, but it's actually, like mathematically, it's useful. Because it will happen periodically, and it will always be useful when it happens, right? Feeling Fine completely prevents poison and dizziness. Happy Heart automatically regen hearts periodically. Happy Flower automatically regens FP. By the way, this is crazy useful. Just, it's a mono regen. Do I even need to explain that? Peekaboo. This is a weird one. This is here to prevent you from ever needing Goombario. You just see enemy health. Zap Tap. This is seemingly useless, but it's actually very useful. So Zap Tap makes it so that when an enemy damages you, when an enemy does collision damage with you specifically, they take 1 damage and the attack they were going to do doesn't happen. So obviously enemies that fling stuff or are defended or hit you from a distance doesn't do anything. But anyone that body attacks you, tackles you like a Goomba, for example, yeah, you effectively have the spikes that the enemies have had this entire time. Fuzzies cannot touch you with that. It is situational, but extraordinarily useful. Heart Finder. Remember how periodically when we defeat an enemy, it'll pop out hearts or flowers? Increase the number of those. Flower Finder. Increase the number of those. HP Drain. Decreases your attack power by 1. However, every turn you regen. Guaranteed. Money Money. After a battle, you get twice as many coins as usual. Flower Saver. Reduce the cost of every spell by 1. Which, once again, doesn't sound like a lot, but no, you'll notice that's one of the 25 costs. That is incredibly useful. And the one we're buying right now, Power Plus. Increase your damage power by 1. Which, again, sounds so minuscule, but no. This is what I would consider the mandatory badge. And it's the one I buy every single playthrough. I believe there's 3, Roxy. Don't quote me on that, because there's a finite number of them, unlike Paper Mario 2. Also, there's no duplicates, so you only get the 1. Now, I'm debating what thing I want to get next, because we've actually got a decent chunk of stars, and I can afford both Happy Heart and Happy Flower. And I think that might be what I go for. So let's do that. I love the regen. The regen is just too useful. I might eventually go for Pretty Lucky as well. And by might, I mean I think I will. I only need 2 more stars to get Pretty Lucky. However, I am starting to run into the limit on how many badges I can have equipped. In fact, I think I'm already there. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to start being a little bit more tactical, like Linnea was just talking about, in what we actually have equipped. We're going to get both of those on. So now we have that, and that's awesome. Eventually, we're going to have to start taking off our HP and FP pluses, but that's okay. We have another way around that. I think, given where we're going, I can take off the Spike Shield. I need 2 more. Yes, Czar. There are certain bosses. Most bosses have attacks that don't do touch attacks, but if they do have a touch attack, Zap Tap does affect them. I'll use a specific example. Tubba Blubba. Tubba Blubba's heart. He has 2 attacks. He does the super mega attack, which isn't a touch attack, so that would just hit you. But then he walks up and smacks into you. That would affect Zap Tap. I hate to get rid of Power Bounce, but I think that might be the correct call here. Or, let's do this instead. Let's get rid of Happy Flower. And let's give us the all-important Power Plus. Yeah, I think that feels right. Oh, Zap Tap's crazy. It is expensive, Actually, I haven't Trihexia. It's one of the only Mario games I haven't played. So let's talk about this Twit. She helps you find badges. Now, I call her Twit because I hate her because she's badly designed. Let me explain. She'll give you a random hint for any badge you haven't currently collected in the game. Some of them are upstairs. Actually, a decent chunk of them are upstairs. Also, some of them are just purchasable at the shop, too. Now, if you've swept both shops, she can be useful for filling out the gap, but otherwise it's like, really? One time I played a cheated version of this game, and the specific cheats I used... actually, yes, you can play 12. One of the specific cheats I used was infinite badge points. That was actually a lot of fun. Yeah, she just says, my brother sells this badge. In case you didn't know. Thanks, lady. Hang on 1 second. We're good. Look, it's not my fault that Paper Mario's a really well-designed game, okay? It has its flaws and it has its issues, but good lord. It's really weird, considering how much the series just went to hell. I mean, Color Splash was okay. And I haven't played Origami, but Sticker Star, oh my god. Anyways, so, let's go to the next dungeon, shall we? One moment. I mean, Intelligent Systems, Fire Emblem, you know? Sorry, 1 second, 1 second. Shut up. Super story was decent. I just didn't care for other aspects of it. But I do agree, the story was legit. Apologize for the thing that I'm doing. There we go. There we go. Hey, Dream Whisperer. Yeah, that's what I've seen too, Shihali. I have a feeling I'll like Origami King for what it is. Damn it, Roth. But yeah, I'm not... It's probably not a particularly good RPG. And that's a damn shame. Okay. Cool. All right. So even if you know that's there, and you can actually see it if you're paying attention, you can't interact with it until you see someone do it. So I'm going to admit something. I hate the music for this chapter. So I tend to rush through this chapter as much as possible. It's a shame, because from a purely gameplay perspective, this chapter is kind of awesome. But this is the song. So... there it is. Yeah, I don't like this type of music. There's just nothing else for that. Let's talk about the construction of this this particular dungeon. There's 4 stations. Each one has its own little branch, and you're supposed to go down the branch and then back, and each time something changes in order to adjust it. For example, this is also where she puts whatever we selected as Peach. Perfect! Mario really hates these guys, so he'll run. Will they really scare him? They seem pretty weak. I'm getting a little suspicious of what Peach tells us. Ah, it doesn't matter. King Bowser ordered it. He's the boss! Yes, don't question your masters. Ever. It's also probably one of the most puzzle-heavy things, and the Shy Guys themselves have quite a bit of variety to them, as they usually do, because they're freaking Shy Guys. This is one of the reasons why the Shy Guys absolutely have to be a playable faction in the Mario 4X. There's just too much variety to them. There are so many different types of Shy Guys across the franchise. Oh, sorry. I was speaking to your masters, Savika. Oh yeah, some of the Shy Guy fights can actually be pretty mean, too. Just on top of everything else. Listen, Zactaf. No, we don't sneak around, okay? We're the good guys. Good guys don't use submarines. For those of you not aware, that is the canonical reason for that. Well, the meta reason, I suppose I should say. Actually, I like that idea too, Humble Madness. And I'm gonna steal it horribly. Hey guys, I just had this great idea. Hear me out, okay? Okay? Hear me out. Boo faction, but they can't actually build anything. They have to haunt other things. Now, hang on. Let's add a layer to that. They can forcibly haunt some other place. Like passively, slow mode haunt another place in a way that they can't do anything about it. Or they can mutually haunt another place for the benefit of whoever they do it with. Oh, Mario? I have to fight Mario? By myself? Why me? I'm toast. But I have to try. Feel my, wrath, I guess. And he really is by himself. Goodbye, little Goomba. You will not be missed. Oh yeah, we do 6 damage now. So that's why I picked the Goomba instead of the Mushroom, because he has that line. Yep. Hoib stomped. Damn it! Very well. Then I must kill you once and for all. Or not? God, right. They all have 7 health. Right. Good job, guy. Goomba is like, yeah, you murdered a Goomba! This is a Sky Guy. Sky Guys are master balloonists. We can attack the balloon, too. Once they fall, they're just Shy Guys. I wish I had a balloon so I could float. That looks awesome! Damn it. Which now my regen isn't coming in. Really? He's got 1 health! Yep, so I just hit that guy for 12. This is a Shy Guy. They're ne'er-do-wells. Big-time rascals. No good. XHBA 7. They occasionally do acrobatic attacks that have attack power 3. Who knows what lies in the hearts of these troublemakers? I guess they're dangerous, but they're pretty small time. They have 7 health. It's more like a triggered attacks are, rather than a crit. It's not a chance, in other words. Game. Game. so... This is a super optional boss right here. I don't think we can kill him. I'm going to just show off the fight, though. Okay, so this does not count when I reload this save, okay? What do you want? Get away from that treasure chest, pal. It's mine, see? Don't mess with me. Notice it defaults to don't fight. You want to fight? Are you nuts? You don't want to mess with me. Are you sure want to fight? And it gives you 2 options to not fight them. So this is Anti-Guy. His attacks are so intense he's also called Deadly Guy. Max HP 50, attack power 10. His attack power is 12 when he does an acrobatic attack. He can literally one-shot me right now if he does his special attack. Just for perspective. Okay, okay. That's cool. Everything's cool. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm getting bad jumps on those two. Well, we're almost halfway through his health. So that will kill me no matter what. There's no reason to even block that. That's a good question off the deep end. I don't know. It is possible to do this. Even here. It's just... It's a little... have fun. Good luck, you know? Okay, so if he doesn't do an acrobatic attack, we get 2 more rounds of attacking him. We might actually manage this. So now we have 1 health. Damn it! He is 1 health. If I'd gotten 1 more hit, I would have actually managed that. Okay, you know what? Actually, hang on. I actually... What? Oh, I don't have the quick change badge on. I don't have the quick change badge on. Okay, hang on. So load. I can do this. I was 1 health away from making this happen. I can do this. I almost never go for this, by the way, because this is insane. Oh, speaking of which. No, I don't want to do that. I'm thinking. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. So these Koopas suck. We're actually not going to hold back at all in fighting these guys. Why couldn't I have gotten this on the frickin' boss? Look at this. This is a Dark Koopa. Dark Koopas are Koopa Troopas who live in Toad Town tunnels. They're known for causing dizziness. They have 8 HP, 3 attack power, 2 defense, and they have a dizzy attack. Which does exactly what it sounds like. Also, just like the Buzzy Beetles, they get up immediately. I do like how the regen can happen even at the end of battle, because that can be useful. However, since I'm about to heal, we're just gonna not do that. Okay. Not where I was going with that, but it'll have to do. There we go. Okay, so, as I was saying... No, I think the only out-of-combat recovery is like, you know, healing stations. Or the hearts that pop out after battle. I'll take that. That's 3 exp ups we've gotten this particular buff cycle, so that's pretty good. Wouldn't mind another level right now, too. Ah, come on! Okay. Whatever. I might actually die here. The good news is they keep dizzying me, which weirdly enough is actually working out in my favor right now. If they just focused on doing damage, they'd probably kill me. Thanks. I've played a few RPGs like that, and those tend to irritate me, Dakota. Okay. Yes, it absolutely does, Rex. I don't think I've given it yet, but that's because I keep being distracted. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so now to enact my evil scheme, after we create a new save point, of course. Oh, there's inns in the game. I was just talking about like some other RPGs I've played, where like the only recovery is the items you get in the game. Some of those are so badly balanced that it's possible to fall behind the curve, you know, where you're just not making enough money to afford items to keep fighting, so you can't even grind. Okay, evil scheme enacted. Let's go. We're gonna have to fight the boss blind, which is actually gonna irritate me, but we're still gonna do it. I mean, yeah, Rex. Good afternoon, Eternus. You just saw me fail... Oh, missed me, excuse me. Failing to an optional boss with 1 HP to spare. It's that close. I don't think there's actually a reason to get this yet, is there? Yeah, I don't think there is. So we're just going to leave this room. I could upgrade Bombette, but why the hell would I waste an upgrade on Bombette? And we can't go right, because that requires sushi. You know, honestly, I really do think that could have worked, Roxy. I spit a lot of venom at Sticker Star, and at least part of that's because it's a terrible Mario RPG, and Paper Mario, and Mario game. But with a little bit of rejiggering, it might have actually worked. Sushi. I already said what I'm having for lunch. Chicken Big Mac. Oh, so I can sleep. Yeah, just basically just completely redesign the entire game and it'd be fine. I'm barely joking. Okay, so let's swap out for Bow. Maximize our damage output. Now there is... I've said before there's no RNG in this game. That's not actually true. There's very, very little RNG in this game, and the strategy I'm about to employ does in fact rely on RNG. So wish me luck. We'll even get a hard save. Just to legitimize this. And we're going to make the save point here for reattempts. Okay, let's get some good RNG, shall we? Ow. It's okay, he can only two-shot me with that attack. If he uses the other attack, I can live through it. Or if I get a regen. Which I did not get a regen. It was Eternus. The kind of game that could wear out its welcome pretty quickly, but didn't. So, and we're dead. It's okay. I had another guy. By the way, you remember how I mentioned there's an RNG thing that decides how many power bounces you get? Did you know that number is artificially lowered on every boss in the game? Which this counts as. If you're wondering why I was able to power bounce like 15 times earlier, and here I can only manage like 8, that's why. Oh, okay. We have 1 health. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. This might be the best attack buff up I've gotten in the entire game. This might actually do it right here. And down. Holy crap. Okay. Our reward is another Power Plus badge. That's why that's worthwhile. Now, there's actually another way through that. Oh no, it's extremely worthwhile. But there's another way to make that happen. Nothing anywhere indicates this except for, I think, like one hint from the book guy. The anti-guy loves lemon candies. The way you get a lemon candy is you have to get the cook thing, which we're actually about to do, and then you combine a cake mix with a lemon. And if you give it to him, he just lets you have the treasure, and then you can get the Power Plus badge. So now we got to do some badge rejiggering, because I really want that second power-up. So this is going to hurt a little bit. But there's really no other options at the moment. So we're going to get rid of both HP pluses. And we're going to put on the other Power Plus. We now have a max HP of 10, which, if you remember, is what we started the game with. Yeah, we are full glass cannon, but we absolutely hit like a truck right now. There are other ways to increase HP. I just haven't been using them. But to put it in a bit of perspective, I can currently do 8 damage with a basic attack right now. So, now that we've gotten the 2 power badges, which is kind of the little side thing I wanted to do here, let's move on and actually do the chapter. By the way, the next companion I get gives me a plus to my attack as a buff. Okay. So let's show off our new attack power. Hang on. So I just want to kill you. Goodbye. Just dead. Anyways, this is the final reason. I feel like I've already talked about this, but this is the final reason why I really enjoy the fact that the numbers are so low. When you can increase your attack power by 2, that is a huge increase to your output. And yes, we already beat Anti-Guy. Yeah, I kind of want that. Come here. Come here. Come here. I just want to kill you. That's all I want. Just let me kill you. To really put this into perspective, these are Shy Guys, which have 7 health each, which is higher than most of the enemies we've been fighting this entire game. However, as long as I get a first strike and don't screw up on any of my reaction commands, I can kill them in 1 round before they even have the ability to do anything. So there's our cake mix. In fact, we have 2 cake mixes. One is supposed to be for the anti-guy, and the other is actually mandatory to progress. And yeah, it really does, Rex. This is just... Whoa. Remember how I talked about how the middle of the game tends to be the hard part? Well, we're past that now. Now, we are still Little Glass Kennedy, so I shouldn't get arrogant. But we also have a regen, and right now we're regenerating 10% of our health anytime it ticks. As you can see, we're also officially over-leveled, too, because we're only getting 2 experience per thing. Really? Okay. I didn't expect him to stop. Why did you stop? I was tired of living. Okay. It looks so visceral the way she slaps people. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. At least she's not stepping on them. Calculator. And we do want the other cake mix, so we're going to grab that as well. No, as I mentioned earlier, the boos actually qualify more as... whoops, I actually screwed that up. Actually qualify more as Fae, traditional Fae, than... I shouldn't say traditional. What we usually think of as Fae, as opposed to undead. The Dries and the other undead creatures, those are more undead-y. I don't think... Are there any dry creatures in this game? I'm not sure. I know there's a bunch in the second game. So, this is the other asterisk to everything I've been doing. You'll notice I cannot upgrade my badges. We're capped. So we have max badge points now. But... now we can start raising our health. This is the other reason I wasn't super worried about taking off those badges. Because now we can go ahead and start raising health, which means we can take off more of those health badges, which means that's where we're going to get our other badge points from. And that's good, because I want at least 6 more badge points by the end of the game. For the next chapter alone, I want 5. Which is a really weird number, but whatever. Yeah, no, I have been very particularly guiding my leveling path here. You'll notice I have not been Korean methoding, and yet I'm still functionally ahead of the leveling curve. Part of that's thanks to that experience boost thing we've gotten, which we've gotten 3 times now. So that's like another 50, 60 experience we got just from that boost. So that's about half a level just from that. Already worth it. But also I've been very specific about what I fight and when I fight it. And hello, Stan Latigo. Yeah, the fact that current level enemies are giving me less than ideal experience is the exact indicator that I am higher level than expected. I am officially in the green line, which is exactly where I want to be. So we just got a calculator, I think. What did we actually get? Calculator and the storeroom key, and it looks like that's actually it. We also have some letters we could turn in. I should probably turn in some of those. Nope, we're on the Switch. See? I guess technically we're playing an emulator, but, you know, whatever. I would never emulate games. No, I know, Blade Cheval. It's just, I don't know. I like combat in this game, and I love the power progression curve. it feels more rewarding to ride the green line in this one than usual. So we give a letter to him. I wonder who Bootler is. Oh no, no! It's from that ghost. It says, I'll creep up on while you're sleeping. I'll never sleep. I'll never sleep again! And he gives us a star piece. The other one is Merlon. It's from his granddaughter. She recently entered the family business. Interesting. She opened up her business in Dry Outpost. And this is your hint for how to find her, by the way. That sounds interesting, Roxy. Yeah, those are called Meanwhile Elsewhere, Czar. And a lot of games use Meanwhile Elsewhere to good effect. Now, Meanwhile Elsewhere is not always inherently a good thing, but it usually lends itself towards being a good thing. The Shy Guy just stole Dad's calculator. Should have heard what Dad said. We can't open now. Yeah. Sorry, bud. I have to close up shop. Some idiot Shy Guy stole my calculator. Oh, yeah. The dinosaur people. There's another one. Shadow Machine. We need to find that thing. Oh, and the Piantas. We gotta have the Piantas. God, there's so many races in Mario. So, yes. He gives us the I Spy badge. This is the badge we mentioned earlier, which gives you a sound when you're on a cell that is near a hidden star. It's not super useful. We're not going to use it. I have used it, obviously, but it's not great. Anything useful? Ooh, double dip. And multi-bounce. Nothing great. We'll sit on that. Oh yeah, the Piantas would probably be like your typical, you start on an island and you stay there kind of a faction. But, you know, really leaning into things like tourism and trade, right? Yeah, exactly. FF4, it probably isn't the first example of the Meanwhile Elsewhere. It is the trope namer. Okay. But no, it does it to good effect because it's just the villains talking with each other and interacting with each other. And it even serves as a hint for the player without actually necessarily guiding the characters. Sorry, one moment. Sorry. The Chucksters. Get out of here! What the hell? Oh, whatever. I'll come back to that. Okay. Hey, buddy. Got just a thing. Mario, please don't open the storeroom without my permission. Wait, you got back my storeroom key! Thank you! You saved my business! Tell you what, take anything you like from the storeroom. Really? Anything I want, huh? So, this is 2 extremely good items. This is a Zap Tap Mushroom. It gives you the Zap status effect as a buff. This is a sweeping attack, which does frost damage specifically, which is extremely useful in the next dungeon. This is a Dizzy Dial. It does Dizzy. And this is the plot coupon. We absolutely want all of this. We might not have inventory space for all, but nope, we do. Okay, cool. Now I'm actually going to bank some of these. Don't let me forget to pull these out. I want to make that. And, I think that'll do for now, actually. Oh yeah, by the way, if you think this is an annoying song, or if you think this is an annoying song, are you ready for the actual worst song in the game? The worst song in the game. Now, thank God this is actually a skippable cutscene, but... Yeah, I have nothing else to add to that. There's the mailbag, which we have to turn into the postman. I guess my overall point is I think the Meanwhile Elsewhere scene can be used to good effect. It just depends on what you do with it. Serious or silly. Oh yeah, by the way, this badge increases your defense by 1. It's arguably not as useful as the offense one, but at the same time, mathematically, it's about as useful. I would actually love to equip it right now. Fortunately, I'm not sure I can. It is a lot better than HP plus. Oh, absolutely, Roxy. No, you're going to start to see me absolutely destroying things, because, you know, I know what I'm doing, for lack of a better way to put that. And that gives me 1 to play with. Okay, that should work out. So for now, we'll do these. Oh god, the Kremlins. That's actually a good point. Maybe we shouldn't have the Kongs. Yeah, it looks like we're going to chop off a little early today. That's all. Don't worry, I'll be back a little bit early, too. We're just adjusting the lunch break a little bit further forward. Move everything from Age of Sail to Space Marine 2. So I don't think that would fund it. But you can do that as you prefer, Eternus. That is always your call. See, the Kremlins and the Kongs, now that I'm saying this out loud, that feels like an expansion pack, doesn't it? Pretty unlikely. Off the deeper end. Like, I wouldn't bet on something like that happening. Now, we'll probably beat the game tomorrow, though. Not only have we just powered up a lot, but there's not, like, that much game left, really. Well, no, it's more like you want to have your wish list stuff. Like, any development has 3 categories of development, right? There's Ice Power. In other words, there's the stuff that you consider mandatory, there's the stuff you consider optional, and there's the stuff you consider that would be nice. Right? And that's the rough order, for lack of a better way to put it. Yeah, it's 2, that's what I thought. I'm gonna want that later. Admittedly, I've been going a little bit slowly, and I do apologize for that. Oh no, a Thunder Rage. And there's the Frying Pan. Oh hey, healing guys. Because those are a thing. This is a meta guy. Meta guys are the emergency workers of the Shy Guy clan. They have the power to heal. And they attack. I have no idea. I honestly haven't even looked into it, Eternus. You know me, I've been busy with everything else in the universe. My focus is, and has been for some time, clearing up the queue, and FF16 is about to get funded, so that sucks. So, I mean, that's gonna be great, it's gonna be awesome, but it sucks, because it does mean that I'm, you know, I just lost another 2 weeks in my queue time. Hopefully the game is properly ported onto the PC, unlike some other games I can mention. I mean, it's gonna happen anyways, Eternus. There is no avoiding it. No, you can do that at any time for any reason, Ross. So you might wonder why I just put the ice badge on, even though I'm not actually at the fire temple yet. Well, sucks to be you, because I can't explain it right now. Thank you, Rex. I do appreciate that. So, everybody calls me Gourmet Guy. I don't know why, I'm just an ordinary food-loving Shy Guy. I'm hungry. Yeah, we have been making legitimate progress in catching up the queue. Really. It's just... God damn it. Like, I think I've already mentioned this. FF16 is getting there, and so is the Resident Evil block, and both of those are pretty big blocks. Oh, right, I need to do this first. That's why starting WoW is the end of the queue, Blade Jamal. Yeah, the first move. Honestly, everything else that's happened that's delayed me hasn't really been terrible. except for last year's June. I was taking a short dark and actually pushed out RFF2, which was great. And then, and this is my own fault, I was so panic-riddled because of the moving situation before it was solved that I couldn't work on anything. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stream. I couldn't work on the rewrites. I just sat around while my friends tried to comfort me for like 3 weeks. It was extremely stressful. Because I legitimately thought I was about to be homeless again. Okay, so we got the frying pan and the mailbag. That was it. Then, of course, I had to move. The move itself was actually relatively quick and smooth, but then we had to do some stuff to get the house working, and then I had to move again from upstairs to downstairs. So that was a whole thing. So yeah, that was... I say I lost 6 weeks. I actually technically lost more than 6 weeks during that nonsense. But yeah, anyway, sorry, getting off topic. Real first world problems, right? Yes, let's go grab that. Me too, Ross. I hope as many people got out of there as possible. And I don't know what else to add to that. Hey, I brought your frying pan back. And as thank you, she gives us a cake. We can use those cake mixes for something else. And we will. You know, honestly, I'm with you on that, Eternus. I don't want to go too polemic, but I mean, honestly, the fact that real estate is essentially a luxury is ridiculous. I do understand to some extent or another that there should be some kind of a cost associated with real estate. That makes sense, because not all land is the same as all other land. Not every place to live is the same as every other place to live, right? There's a logic to that. But, like, what? It has been entirely too commoditized. Thank you, Ina Michelle. As always. Commoditized? That's not a word. Commodified? Turned into a commodity. I'll put that towards the Neo block, Xenoblade 3, and Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah, tell me about it off the deeper end. I have been kicking myself for years because I was actually saving up quite a bit of money in order to buy a house, and I held off for a little bit to buy a car instead, which I did. It's the car I currently have. And now I'm screwed because it's too late. Unless things get better, which they might, it is officially too late. My friend Pax got in a house pretty much towards the latter end of availability. So did my friend Gary. And both of them got under the line by like a year. Tell me about it, Ross. Okay, so, hey, you're hungry, right, gourmet guy? Me too. Have a cake. I think he likes it. Now he's known as Exer Guy. Exercise Guy? I don't know. So, you're probably wondering why I have the Ice Power badge on. Yeah, in case you missed that, we do 12 damage to fire enemies right now. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, but it's actually even better than you're thinking, because remember, normally, fire enemies are fire, so you're not supposed to do any touch attacks on them. But we completely invalidate that and absolutely destroy them. Well, you see, Takoida, Bowser is not a fire enemy, no. Weirdly enough, Bowser has no special status effects when you fight him. He's not spiky, he's not on fire, he doesn't counterattack melee attacks. So anyways, gameplay. We should actually talk about the gameplay of this dungeon. The idea is, this is very much the flower design. We talked about that earlier when we were going through Doom. You're supposed to go into an area, go out, come back to an area, go out, come back to an area, go out. It is very, very quick, so it doesn't really bother me all that much. And each time you gain a little bit more in order to go through it a little bit more differently. And as you unlock, you get shortcuts, which enable you to go back through it a little bit quicker, right? That's fine. The thing that's kind of interesting about all of this is the guys themselves. I don't remember Roman Cure. It's been a while. Anyways, the guys themselves have quite a bit of variety to them, because of course they do. And they also do a lot of different types of attacks. Status effects, heals, buffs, debuffs. You get it. There's very, very, very few Shy Guys that are just, they do damage to you. In fact, the only ones that are like that are the traditional Shy Guys themselves. In Paper Mario 2, it does Dream Whisper. In Paper Mario 1, for the most part, you actually cannot stack those because there are no additional copies of the badge. And notice how the regen is basically keeping up with our health right now. Now, part of that's due to the defense up I got, which is, you know, obvious. No, that's a Dizzy... Here. It's a Dizzy item. See? I didn't remember that it did that. So, apologies. This is a Pyro Guy. Pyro Guys are on fire, so any contact will cause damage. They're tough opponents because their attack power is so high. Any attack that involves water or snow is best because, well, you know. They also attack very fast. Did you see that? Almost no warning before they hit you. Absolutely destroy these things. Interesting Shadow Machine. Aw, see you around, Kenix Cow. Have a good day at work, hopefully. Oh, wow, the buff just ran out. I think this is the earliest I've ever seen the buff run out. In Chapter 4. Remind me when we're done here to go, you know, grab that again. We can still use experience. In fact, experience is useful all the way until the end of the game, really. It always is at least a few more FP or HP, and those are always useful. And as I mentioned, those buffs pretty much pay for themselves, so there's essentially no reason not to get that buff every time it wears out. Especially since we have a warp pipe right there. Twitch? No, we're still here. We had a blip, it looks like. Lost a couple of frames. Yeah, it looks like we had a blip. Love that music. I will admit, as much as this section is good gameplay-wise, I think I'm actually going to give a negative to music for it. Every single time I play this part of the game, I race through this chapter because I just hate the music that much. Don't worry, it's not the only chapter like that. Don't worry, we're actually pretty close to the end of it. As usual, the chapters aren't particularly long. Oh, I don't remember the order. We'll come back to that. And now our greatest nemesis. A can of soda. Empty calories, baby. All right. I'm pretty sure the game just tells you. Oh no! Color guys. Okay. Dare I ask which one? Oh man, pumpkin bread. Oh god. The hunger. The hunger. Paradise. We're doing DS9 very late in the lore run, but I may add a few lamentations to DS9, and Paradise is definitely in the running for that. The only reason it didn't get it last time is because, you know, it's not exactly a terrible episode until the ending, which is usually a mitigator for that kind of thing, right? Like, I didn't give it to Dear Doctor because Dear Doctor is actually a good episode until the last 45 seconds. By contrast, Alliances didn't fare as well, so who knows? Listen, she just wants a society in which she has total control over everything and everyone. She just wants to create a monument to non-existence. Is that so hard? Is that such a difficult thing to request? Think about all of the good that has been done on their colony. Think about the Dominion finding them in a year or two and just running over them. And then laugh. I'm not even gonna pick that up, that's not worth my time. And there's the dictionary. So yeah, what you're supposed to do here, this is probably the one misstep in all of this dungeon, is you're supposed to go all the way back out of the dungeon, take the secret note and the dictionary back to the guy. He tells you the order in which to hit the thing. And then you come back in and all the way back down here. So that's not great. That's probably the worst example of backtracking in this particular game. Don't worry, it's not the last. So let's see. It's yellow. I think. Because I think you're right, Roman. Yep, yep. Booyaka. Then you'd have Scorpion, Mad Overlord. Yeah, the Undine are Daleks, excuse me, in every way that matters. Don't worry, I swear we're almost done with this stupid chapter, Uncle Magnus. We've got to get our party member and then fight the boss, and that's actually all that's left at this point. Yeah, we get a party member really late in this one. It's kind of weird. Also, it's debatable which party member is objectively the best one in the game. There's 3 that battle it out. The one we're about to get is one of those 3. No, we haven't, Ross. I cannot tell you how livid the Lorani was that they were trying to humanize the Dalek. I mean, the Undine in Prey. Like, they were angry at that. It was actually really enjoyable to watch. Anyways, the 3 that are in the running for the worst, or excuse me, the best. It's Parakarry, who we have right here, because he has, like I said, he's got good FP usage, he can hit anything on the screen, he's got a screen sweeper. The second option is someone we haven't gotten yet. You'll see her later. And the third option is the one we're about to get. God, Fury. We'll get there. Can no longer jump. By the way, that's what that guy does. I haven't really been sure. That guy dizzies, the fire guy sets you on fire, and that guy prevents you from using certain types of attacks. Like I said, the Shy Guys like to do all kinds of stuff. They're dicks. Which is funny, because that means we have 2 prankster species in this very game. Shy Guys and Booze. Looks like we'll level at the end of the chapter. I was kind of hoping to get an extra level before then, but... Oh yeah, no, we've got, like, we're in the solid, like, red territory of Season 4. Prey was the last, one. Yeah, we're past that. You know, fair. By default, I can't say anything about that. Nope. So, okay, this is a dick move. Do you see that? That's a party power-up, which you can use at this point in the game. Don't. Because here's your extra party member. But it's such a dick move. Putting it right there, right before you get a party member, a very useful party member, they had to have known what they were doing. They had to know. Oh, could it be? It's Mario. Looks like you're mine, Mario. I won't let you go anywhere. Oh, they expect us to go back that way, but I know many people, myself included, especially on the first playthrough, who see that, go grab that, and then use it, because it's extremely unlikely you don't have a use for it right now. It is possible. If you got the extra one in the sewers, which we actually have access to right now, then you wouldn't have anyone to spend it on. But if you haven't been doing the sewers... Yep. He's going to take us to the deep dark. Oh, the light is so bright, it's no good. Darker, darker. Whoops. Whatever. So we're not going to mess around with you. We're just going to kill you. What do you mean, Spartan? I mean, fair, Roman Cure, but you get my point. You'll notice I actually went out of my way to not get the one in the sewers, because I didn't want to waste it on Bombette. Hey, a zap tap on this guy's hilarious. Well, while we're here. This is the Big Lantern Ghost. He avoids attacks by hiding in the dark. 40 HP. Your friends, like me, will also be damaged when he does the flash attack. Hit the lantern to make it brighter and attack him. No, you didn't, Ross. What are you planning? Or are you just doing what I did? Not a judgmental comment, it's just... like... Super Pico is amazing, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Cat Horse. Ah, gotcha. That may happen someday, like after I win the lottery, kind of a someday. But it's not exactly what I'd say something I'm planning on, you know what I mean? Stay down. Hello? This is the Big Lantern that belongs to the Big Lantern Ghost. There's something inside. Do you think it'd come out if we broke it? Hi, mister. I'm Watt. Can I, get out of here? Yay, I got out. Yay for me. Thanks, mister. Alright, tell me Watt's personality right now. Trick question. She has none. I've complained before about how the characters are essentially non-characters in this game, but Watt is like the least character of all of them. Watt might as well not actually have any characterization. In fact, Watt only gets one scene, and this is it. So, you're awesome, I want to help, let me join the party, done. That's it. That is it. Even Lockie Lester, who is the worst party member in the game, gameplay-wise, is better than this. So yeah, her ability is she has a piercing attack. So her basic attack is kind of like Bombette's, but it can hit anything, not just stuff on the ground. And it has piercing damage, so that's already awesome. And she also has the ability to buff you. And as we've already discussed, buffs are extraordinarily important in this game. So, whoop. So first I'm going to fall, very important part of the process. And now we're going to use this on the correct character. Yeah, I meant to actually find a YouTube of that, because I've never heard it, Roxy. Or if I have, it's only been in the speedruns, because I know they like to run the Japanese version. Okay, so we're all set for the boss and to get out of this freaking music. You know, it's really funny. The last 2 chapters have been kind of dragging a bit, haven't they? There really is a bit of a middle problem here. I hope the last few chapters are better. Like, I feel like they're better. And this scene's awesome, so that's something. I remember Chapter 7 extremely fondly, so we'll see. Oh, wait, and then there's Chapter 6. I forgot about Chapter 6. Okay, so Chapter 6 sucks. I think they're a little... oh, God, it keeps being Mystic Quest. It just keeps being a thing. Anyways, I think they're scared of something. Yeah, I'm not worried about 8, and yeah, 7's going to be pretty good. I'm almost sure of it. Six will suck. So, honestly, the only one I'm actually not sure about is 5. You know, the next chapter. We'll see. We'll get there. You know, I don't want you to exist anymore. Yeah, no, they knew what they were doing. You know, I could see that Roman Cure. Starting with Lackey Lester would actually probably be really useful. Because, yeah, he's a generalist. He can do whatever. Run! Run for it! Run! 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 Oh, God! Hey! And they push through the door, trying to get away from us. I love that. So, boss time. So you came, did you? I am General Guy. We're following the orders of King Bowser by guarding the Spore Spirit. As long as we keep it secure, we have permission to do whatever we want, do you hear? I don't care for you, sir. You're rude and furthermore trespassing. Our toy box is off limits to the likes of you. The treasures inside this box are for shy guys only. That Star Spirit's fate is none of your business. Prepare to fight me, sir. Taste defeat! Charge! Okay, guys, all together now. Let's rush him. Charge! Are you sure that's what you want to do? So, that's what Watt can do. What's the result of that? That. Three or 4 turns of another +1. We're doing 10 damage per attack right now. Look out! Oh, okay. Mario, you, sir, will pay! You beat my infantry, but that's all you'll do. Prepare for the next... wait. Wave. Stilt guys. Go, attack, fight, fight, fight! Yes, sir, right away, sir. Goodbye. Oh, we only do 8 damage now. Unbelievable. I guess it's time for the Special Battalion! I pity you, sir. It's time you paid, Mario. There's one other benefit to Watt. So remember how I mentioned earlier that everyone disagrees on whether Sushi or Parakarry is better? Mathematically, they're almost identical. The big difference is the specifics of the inputs to do their attacks, the timed action commands. Some people find Parakarry easier to do, and some people find Sushi easier to do. The reason I bring that up is because of all of those, the easiest one to do by far is Watt's, the one we were just using right now. Nobody embarrasses my brave shy guy, the brave shy guys of my army. Nobody. Let's do this first. Notice they give us a boss right after with defense, right after they give us a character who has a defense piercing attack. We have another thing we can do with that. I'll take 4 rounds of attack boost. Thank you very much. We might actually do more with a hammer right now. I'll have to double check that. Nope, it is more with the jump boots. I figured. My high-tech tank defenses don't seem to stand up to that electric attack. Quit doing that. It's too powerful. You're breaking the rules of war. Look, it's not my fault you suck, okay? And ding, as expected. Let's go ahead and keep raising health. Yeah. We're officially going to not do Danger Mario. I already told you about it anyways. Danger Mario is when you stay in danger status and you use all the badges that buff your stats when you're in danger status. It's risky, but pretty rewarding. It's a pretty valid strategy, too. In both games, actually. To save the 4th Star Spirit, Muscular, Mario, and team disbanded the gang of Shy Guy toughs. Slowly it seems as if the life force is returning to the once bleak night sky. But the stars won't truly shine until the Star Rod is wrested from Bowser's evil grasp. 3 Star Spirits still await rescue. Where in the world are they being held? We'll find out after the lunch break.